So today in Crypto Analysis, we're gonna take a look at the daily chart and how this past week has been very bearish. We have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven red candles, and we're gonna talk about why could that happen and how this is holding with our last prediction. From the last video, you'll see that we were aiming towards levels around 7K and 6.8K, and we're finally here, but we were anticipating to be here a couple days after around this point. So I'm gonna talk about how this could still play with our predictions and what could be the actual bearish and bullish scenario for the upcoming week. We're also gonna take a look deeper into the hourly chart to see how all these bear flags play into action and what was the price action throughout this fall. I'm gonna end the video by talking about some altcoins and doing some analysis on the past video, and also some discussions on these really big headlines that CNBC run out and how actually they fail to portray the true story and how that could actually be a participant in why Bitcoin fell this harshly this week. So if you're curious about this, just chill and keep watching. Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. This is your host, the Cheeky Entrepreneur. So first of all, I want to give you guys a little bit of updates about what's happening with the channel. So I've been doing these videos on Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday, but I'm actually changing up a little bit. So Mondays are gonna be your technical analysis, your crypto analysis. Like right now, I'm gonna be talking about some news and stuff related to cryptos. Then on Wednesdays, I'm gonna do this cheeky trading, which is gonna be basically if you don't know anything about crypto, I'm gonna start from the very scratch of not knowing anything and about what's crypto, then technical analysis, then indicators and so on until what I know currently. And on Fridays, I'm gonna do these cheeky vlogs, which is basically videos of me talking about my philosophy, about talking entrepreneurship, about talking how you could potentially be that person that you want to be and how you could start. You can actually watch last week's video on the right corner over there if you want. I really, really recommend you to watch that video. I received really good feedback as well as some critical feedback, and as always, I receive these comments in order to improve the quality of the content. But well, that's enough for updates. Let's go to the price action right now. So something that we've seen last week, we've seen one, two, three, four, five, six, seven red candles, which a lot of people highlighted, but I stated that this really it might be statistically surprising, but it really doesn't mean anything in terms of the price. And as we've seen, yeah, the 8 day was a small green candle, but guess what? The price went down. So that didn't have any strong correlation with what's going on with the price. But something that we said last week is that this Ichimoku cloud, we've seen the creation of this channel, which I talked about, and we're also combine it with this Ichimoku cloud, and we said that this might actually be the top of this current channel. And something that I was expecting is the price to actually go down, break this line, go down, retest, going upwards, and I'm actually gonna put it here. This was last week's prediction. So going down and then go up. So basically retesting this line, going up, back, not being able to actually break up, going to these levels, 6.87K levels, which is currently at, and then actually going forward. And that didn't happen. Actually, we broke down this line and we didn't find any support here. And I would say this this area over here, this whole area, might potentially be a buying opportunity. And the reason is, first of all, we have a really important level at 6.8K level. We broke with a strong support in there. And secondly, we're gonna find the bottom of this trend line. And of this channel, and that could potentially mean that we have enough support to actually go up. And something that I want to do in all my videos is actually learn from my mistakes, and whatever I do wrong, I'm gonna comment it over here, and whatever I do right, I'm also comment it over here. So within my trading, something that I've been doing right is that I've been taking profits at these import levels, and I actually got back the original money that I invested initially for this leverage trading at least. And now we've seen the price going down, and something that I have to learn is when to bail out from a trade. For instance, I knew that this was a very strong support, but I handled all the losses, and I actually bought a little bit more over these levels. But actually, what I should have done is, okay, it broke through this important line. I'm gonna sell over here. I'm gonna wait until this important level, 6.3 levels, 7K, 6.8, and then I'm gonna re-enter in here. So that's something for you guys to take in mind, that you have sometimes you might be better by bailing out of a trade, saying, okay, even though it's not the highest point, I took a lot of profit before, so now I'm exiting this trade and I'm gonna re-enter at some other point that's actually better. So let's talk about these indicators. We have the RSI heading to this 40 level, which is a very important level when we're on a bull run. This could potentially prove a resistance for the RSI. We can also see very importantly the stochastic RSI, which is bottom out, and this could be the potential indicator that we are actually gonna go up. Something that I always tell you guys to bear in mind is that you have to wait until the indicators align. So for instance, we have this resistance here at the 40 level in the RSI, and we have a bottom stochastic. So that might potentially mean that we're gonna head up. And if you take into consideration what I said about this channel and the lower part of the channel and this resistance 6.8, everything is indicated that this is kind of like a buying zone before a huge bounce. And well, just before mentioning the potential outlooks for the next week, I'm gonna talk about like the hourly chart and what's having happening. And basically, we have find a bit support. We broke through this important line. If you know, that huge line comes from these previous bottoms, and it's kind of like an up an uptrend. We actually broke through that. We bounced off. We went back down. We actually found some resistance on this line. We bounced from it, but the bears were actually too strong and they pushed the price down. So right here, it looks like we're forming another bear flag, and that could potentially mean that the price is gonna go from this point all the way here to around, if it breaks here, which is actually around 6.5 if we measure all the polling here. Is actually 6.5. And something that I've mentioned is that there is a reason why I don't think this is going to happen. It might happen. That's one of the potential outlooks. And let's go to that right now. So if we were to think about a bullish scenario, and what I think is going to happen is that we're going to find some support here in the 6.8 and with this trend line, and we're actually gonna break out on here. Now, I would expect us not to actually break up that line and actually be pushed a little bit forward and then actually break towards the target that we had before, which was at 10K. And the reason why I don't think it's gonna break is because we also have the middle of the channel around here. I've been talking about this channel and how you always have this midline, for instance, that perfectly suits over this low and a little bit of in here. So we might find support from this and this line, that trend line, and also the mid channel. And that's something that might be taken upon into consideration, and we might see a lot of the price. Now, a lot of people say, oh yeah, the real support is gonna be 6.5, but I highly doubt that's gonna be, yeah, the only reason we say 6.5 is a strong level is because we've seen this, but in reality 6.5 didn't really have resistance over this period, and I think the recent price action is more important than the past price action. So if we were to talk about uh, the really bearish scenario, if we break down here, we would actually go all the way to 6K, 5.8, and then maybe we could retest this line again and potentially go up from there. But I don't think this is the best scenario to happen, and the reason is because we have kind of relative good news. We're still waiting on the ETFs. There's no indication that that actually is gonna fail. So if we go through this buy the rumor and sell the news kind of deal, we could potentially see this as a buying opportunity, getting at almost 10K level before the ETF announcements, because I think that on the 10th of August they're gonna decide where it's gonna be on the 21st of August, or if they're gonna delay it until the 21st of September, but or 24th of September, I think. But this is mainly what I think is gonna happen, and we'll have to see and find out what's going on. So let's talk about altcoins really quickly. I don't want to spend too much time. I don't want the video to get too long. But well, we have seen Ethereum, and something that we said in the past week is that we were gonna find potentially some support in here, and look at what happened. We didn't actually reach the bottom, but if you have bought over here, over these prices, you could have at least got around 7 to 8%. In regards to Bitcoin, that's a good thing, provided that Bitcoin is going down. So you will have had more resiliency over with Ethereum right now. And something that I'm expecting is for this to still go up, probably test this, maybe come back down. That's the two scenarios that we might have. But as of now, it's going up, and we're probably gonna get to around these levels in the RSI before going down. So I would actually look for a potential jump still of maybe another 15%, 10% or so. We go to Cardano. I mean, I told you guys that I bought before. I mean, the reason was a little bit random, but regardless of that, I'm still holding this for the long run. And actually, if you have bought one of the prices that we said that was the bottom around here, you could have actually gotten around, let's say, around the same 8%, more or less. So that's if you gotten into the actual bottom, but I think that this is pointing now that's gonna go up. We have the RSI in oversold, and we have the stochastics also going up. So we might actually go all the way back to these levels, 2400 satoshis or so, which could actually be a good 20 to 30%, which is not bad in terms of Bitcoin. And finally, here we have Stellar. I've been wanting to buy Stellar, still have not reached my pending order, which is around here. I'm still waiting for this to go down, retest this line because it's a very strong line, and actually I would think that if it touches this line, we could at least look for around 20% profits if we are very conservative with this line, but in reality, if it breaks this line, we could see even more as explained in the other videos. So let's head to today crypto news, and we run the headline of no coffee for Bitcoin. Starbucks clarifies as media misrepresents its new crypto venture. And this was very, very important news over last week, and the reason is because people were feeling really bullish, and this is due to a headline that the CNBC ran out. So let's just go ahead and read. Starbucks has clarified that it will not be accepting Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies as payment despite misleading reports from mainstream media. And we're gonna go and say New York Stock Exchange. They wanted to do this global platform and ecosystem for digital assets dubbed BACT, and the group was supported by big companies like Starbucks, BCG, and Microsoft. So this is a headline that the CNBC actually went with. It was new Starbucks partnership with Microsoft allow customers to pay for frappuccinos with Bitcoin, directly implying that the partnership would mean customers could purchase items at Starbucks for crypto. Something that is not really true. I mean, what they say is that customers will not be able to pay for frappuccinos with Bitcoin, but rather the company is part of a new venture creating a platform to convert the assets Bitcoin, for instance, into US dollars. And this is a very, I mean, this could have potentially be something bullish if portrayed in the correct way, but actually I think this is more bearish, and this is one of the reasons why it's going down. First of all, you have misleading information, so that creates a little bit of FUD, which is a fear of uncertainty, a doubt, and that's one thing why the Bitcoin price might have gone down, or this might have helped for this bearish momentum. And the second thing is that you are allowing people to buy stuff by selling Bitcoin. And you know, Bitcoin has its value because people are still holding it. That's what gives value, because people buy, people exchange their fiat currencies for for Bitcoin and they hold it. But now they're finding a way to actually you to exchange and basically sell your Bitcoin, because every time you buy a coffee with Bitcoin right now, if this venture went to happen right now, you would be selling Bitcoin. You wouldn't be buying. They wouldn't be holding it, and therefore Bitcoin price would be going lower instead of going higher. Well, anyways, guys, that's what I wanted to say for this video. If you like the content, please push that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel. You can also check our other social media. We have an Instagram account and we have a Facebook page, and I'm posting more content on there. There's different types of things regarding entrepreneurship, also altcoins. You should definitely check that out. But before I go, I want to remind you all, stay smart, stay bold, but most important of all, stay cheeky. Take care.